Mom, just one more level.
Adam?
No, Mom. I need to play another level.
Adam?
Mom, one more.
Adam?
Whatever.
Nature has always been a part of me. When I was little, my family moved to a house in the woods. We were surrounded by nature, literally. Trees, water, deer, bears, salamanders, and more birds than we could name. My parents took my brother and I hiking even before we could walk. I had my own kayak by the time I was 5 and paddled the ocean a lot. I didn't know what it was like to live without nature in my life, or to not get outdoors. But I know lots of people who don't have access to nature, and people who have access to nature but don't take advantage of it. Both adults and kids are currently suffering from something called nature deficit disorder. It is not a medical term, but perhaps it should be. It is a term that was first coined by author Richard Louv. Rich has written books on the subject that talk about the broken relationship between people and nature, and how it's making kids and adults depressed, distracted, obese, and even disables their creativity. More and more kids today are spending their time inside. We've developed the state of mind, believing that if something can't be Googled, it doesn't count. Richard's research tells us that nature amplifies time and inspires creativity through the full use of the senses, and that can't come from a computer, a TV, or a video game. He would also tell you that the more high-tech we become, the more nature we need.
If you're looking at where people spend their time, more and more of it is spent in a virtual world electronically. The problem with blaming it on video games and other electronics is that technology is not going to go away. And the truth is, I think, that the electronics in some ways are a reflection of even deeper issues, which is a kind of devaluing of nature in general, of real ambivalence in the human race about nature.
And it's not just people who suffer if we lose touch with nature, but it's nature that loses too. If kids aren't interested in nature, who's going to protect it in the future? Research also tells us that the adult concern for the environment actually comes from participating in nature at a young age.
I think to care about something, you've got to love it. And to love it, you've got to experience it. It can't be an intellectual exercise only. It's important to learn about nature. How do you measure creativity? I'm sure there's a way, but it's harder. How do you measure compassion? How do you measure thoughtfulness? How do you measure vision? A kid who is visionary, in a sense, who looks out the window, doesn't do well on the test, but watches the trees move. And someday an idea emerges from that time in which that kid was daydreaming that is a good thing for people. How do you measure that? Einstein had a quote on his door that said, not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. So Einstein knew better, and we ought to know better too.
Environment-based education can be one of the solutions to nature deficit disorder, where nature is used as the classroom. Studies have shown that environment-based education helps improve student achievement and test scores in most subjects, and also helps develop problem-solving abilities and critical thinking skills. There are some schools in the United States that have even canceled recess so more class time can happen so test scores can be improved. But the fact of the matter is that we need more nature in our lives and not less.
But now it's the entire world that more people live in cities than the countryside. That means one of two things. Either human beings will gradually lose their meaningful daily contact with nature, or it means a new kind of city, the beginning of a new kind of city. I think that second choice is a great choice and is an exciting choice, and young people in particular who want to be urban designers, who want to be architects, who want to think about the natural systems in human life, etc. I think there's great opportunities now to rethink what a city is, either to build new ones or preferably to retrofit the cities we've got and the neighborhoods we've got rather than sprawling everywhere. And we can do that. That's happening here and there. It's very exciting. It'd be a better way of life. Now we have to create nature. And as ironic as that sounds, we can do that. We can do that in places there hasn't been any nature for hundreds of years. We can do that in our cities, our neighborhoods, in our houses, in our yards, etc.
Time will always be an excuse for not getting outdoors. The organized sports you're in, which, by the way, doesn't actually count as getting out in nature, school and homework and jobs, will always compete for your time. But are you willing to live with the cost of not getting back to nature? Statistics tell us that the young adult in North America now has a 1 in 4 chance of suffering from depression today, compared to a 1 in 10 chance 2 generations ago. Well, guess what? Nature has been proven to help mental illnesses. The good news is that nature deficit disorder can be reversed. But the cure doesn't come in the form of a pill. It is rather cured by real-life experiences. Nature can and will make you happier and healthier. It has been proven to reduce stress, deepen the spirit, and even improve creative thinking skills. weight of the world is always put on kids' shoulders. Adults typically admit their own failures, but expect young people to fix our environment. And that's not right. Every generation needs to contribute to help make a better future. I love to share the gift of nature with others, because it usually has the same effect on them. I feel like people who haven't experienced nature have been robbed of a gift, and kids have been robbed of part of their childhoods. Nature is something to offer to everyone, and it's never too late to get outdoors. You don't have to be outside in nature every day all the time to get the benefits of the outdoors. Pick one thing to do today. It doesn't have to be complicated. A stream, a bog, a trail, a tree, a camping trip. Lots of things can teach you to appreciate nature and get outdoors. Try a few things and find out what interests you. Do something with your family, your friends, your neighbors, or maybe even just yourself. And you could find a passion you didn't even know you had. Start small and build up to bigger and better and more often. Learn about your yard, your neighborhood, your community, your world. Unwrap these gifts slowly like the best present you ever had, because I promise you, you won't be disappointed. If it's true that you can only care about what you know about, then it's time to get back to nature. Our future and the future of our environment depends on our connection to it. It has been said that passion is the fuel for the struggle to save what's left of our environment. So take some time to get outside and let nature inspire you.